Should the office of Prime Minister have an age limit?
Yeah, because it's understandable for all the amount of money that's put into towards campaigning that they want to try and get that campaign representative to office. And it would be unfortunate to see somebody in Joe Biden's age category only survive for a year or so, and then you've got to do it all over again. So I think that, yeah, having an age restriction is probably a good idea. Maybe no more than 80, and then go from there, because it's not just the individual, it's also the party.
No, I don't think so. I think old people like me are still capable of being productive contributors to society.
I don't think so. I think it's just based on whether people can do their job or not. That's it.
Age doesn't matter. It's what you've got in terms of experience and between your ears. You can't just be a figurehead for something or somebody.
So as far as Canada, I don't believe we should have an age restriction, but we should have parties that are willing to, how would you put it, consider that when they are selecting a leader.
What?
So,
What does that even
well, it
mean?
means Joe Biden, who's running again in the States
Oh.
at age 80, should we have a cutoff like that? And no, I don't think so. I think we should have to understand that it depends on your abilities, and you can be a healthy, smart 90-year-old and still
Yeah.
do a good job. So it depends on the individual.
To me, it's really not about age. It's about, are they qualified for the position, right? I think you should have some real appropriate background to hold political office, and to me, that's more important than age.
85. That's old, but many people in the past, many aged people in the past have done quite well in government. Depends on their cognitive abilities. We all know when someone's making sense or when they're not. Joe Biden's a good example. I still think at his age he's making sense. It's a tough call, but there should be a limit. I think 85 is the limit.
Part of me wants to say no, there should not be any kind of ageism built into the office of the Prime Minister, but I do see that generally politics is skewed towards older, more experienced people running for those positions, and it would be great to get more young voices into politics, but I don't know if just a age cap is the way to do it.
I think in general there should be an age limit. Yeah. We're starting to see that in the US right now, that age thing and that topic is coming up, but there's a validity to it. I definitely think there should be term limits, for members of parliament and members of the Senate. I mean, having these relics who've kind of outlived their time. Some of them aren't even showing up and they can't vote, and it causes all sorts of problems. So yeah, I think there should be an age limit and a term limit.
I don't actually think that it should. I think that the electorate is smart enough to recognize that, there are some people who are in their 40s you don't want to elect as a prime minister, and some people in their 70s that you do. And I'm happy either way. I mean, I have no preference on. I don't think that any particular age is magic or special. I think that the competence of the individual is the question at hand, and I don't think we need legislation. I think the electorate can figure that out.
No.
Why not?
People are 90 years old and they're still driving cars. So, as long as you have your marbles, you have everything up here, there shouldn't be an age limit.
I don't think so, no. I think there's probably a range of ages, and I think someone who is technically younger could end up being less qualified than someone who is, might seem on paper to be quite old. So I'm open to a variety of ages.
I think so. I do think so, because I think that I'm older, but I think that younger people bring in some fresh ideas, and I think that they could have like some of their cabinet maybe older, that would give the prime minister a different view, a sense of aging view as well. But I think it's better just to have a more of a youthful prime minister.
I think so. I think at a certain level, the human mind probably deteriorates more so than we'd like to think. Not necessarily saying that age isn't a key marker for wisdom in an individual, but the physical limitations of the body tend to probably bear down on somebody over time. And I think things like stress affect people more often as they get older and more harshly as they get older. So maybe not necessarily an age limit per se, but at the very least, it should play a consideration into whether or not a candidate is fully, like, physically healthy for a role as important as that.